to do chair yoga practice with you today, and it's probably about maybe 20 to 30 minutes. So we're going to be working in all the joints, synovial joints, stimulating the synovial joint fluids, stimulating the blood, oxygen levels, lymphatic fluids. And so you need a chair. You may need a block or two, depending on how you're feeling in the hips and lower back, so have something handy. And so we'll come to our chair, and we want to sit close to the edge of the chair to begin with. Keeping the legs in a right angle shape, so the ankles are beneath the knee and the knee is in line with the hips, and we're keeping the feet and legs hip distance. Pressing into the seat bones. So you press down into the seat bones, and you may feel the lower abdominal muscles, slight engagement in the lower abdominals. So they're kind of switching on. And we're lifting in the breastbone. Keeping the spine nice and long and lengthened. Shoulders are soft and relaxed and away from the ears. The shoulder blades are sliding down our back. Chin parallel to the floor, slightly tucked in towards the throat and lengthening through the crown of the head. Hands on the thighs. So this is always our base and starting position. And from here, we're going to take just a few moments to begin our practice by becoming aware of how we're feeling, how our breath is, what's going on with our bodies today. So we'll just be here. We've established our seated position. So just release any tension in the shoulders, in the upper back. Shoulders slide away from the ears. You can exhale or sigh as you breathe out. And then we're taking this time just to notice. To notice where the breath is, how the breath is. So if we're breathing quite shallow and rapid breathing breaths, and the breath is high up in the collarbones, you just want to notice where the breath is. We're not going to do anything to change the breath, we're only noticing, observing. So we're taking a few moments, just noticing where the breath is. So as you take your mind, your thoughts, out of your thinking mind and connect to your body, to your breathing, the breath begins to slow down. And you may notice that there's a movement in the belly as you breathe in. The belly expands and contracts as you exhale. So we're only noticing these things, we're just observing, bringing our awareness into the breath and noticing its effects in the body. And as we take our attention out of our thinking mind, the mind begins to quieten. So all those thoughts that keep racing around in our head, they begin to just slow down. And this is what we want to come into our practice, to have a quiet mind, so that we can really observe what we're experiencing in our bodies. A couple more breaths here. Breathing in and out. Maybe you can hear the sound of your breath. And then just release from that practice just now. And bring your awareness down into your feet. So we're going to lift the left foot off the floor and squeeze the toes. So squeeze them closed and we open and spread them wide. So we're squeezing the toes and opening and closing. And you can do between 6 to to 8 repetitions, or maybe even 3. 3 repetitions, 6 or 8, whatever you fancy. And then once you've done that, if your leg isn't too tired, you could then just extend the leg slightly and point and flex. So you're working in the ankle joint. So we've worked in the toe joints, we're now in the ankle joint, stimulating the fluid, pointing and flexing. And then we're going to circle in the ankle in one direction, and then change sides, circling in the other direction. So we're still on the same left leg, rotating in the opposite direction. And bring the leg back to the floor. If there has been too much strain in your lower back, you can either press into the seat bones, lift out of the hips, lengthening the waist so that you're really working strong in the core muscles. Keep that working throughout the practice. But also, if your lower back is quite weak, this is where you could take your block or a cushion and you would just place it beneath your feet. So it gives you a bit of height and it raises the leg just a wee bit more so the knee is in a better position with the hip. So it takes away the strain out of your lower back. So you could be here. But again, pressing down in the seat bones, lifting through the waist, keeping the breastbone lifted, shoulders away from your ears. So they're all your checkpoints. We're going to come back to the left leg, and this time we're going to work in the knee joint. And we do this by lengthening the leg. So straighten the leg, and it's more or less the ankle, knee are in line with the hip. And we bring it back. So breathe in as a lift, and exhale to bring it back to the floor. So you can do 3, 6 or 8 repetitions. Whatever you're doing, you move with the breath. So it's an inhalation to lift, exhale to bring it back. Keeping your attention also on the hips, on the abdominals and lower back, keeping the shoulders soft. And relax. Each time you relax, soften the whole body. And this time, we're keeping the leg in this shape. So we're still working on the left leg. We're keeping it in this right angle shape. And you may need to come a wee bit further forward to the edge of your chair. And you take the leg out to the left. So we're working in the hip joint, but we're keeping the leg in that same right angle shape. So we're taking it out and you're bringing it back. So you're getting into the hip joint. And release. And then relax. And we're going to do that all on the other side. So raise the right leg and you're opening and closing the toes, squeeze in the toes, working in the little joints in the toes, and then pointing and flexing. Maintaining your core strength, circling in the ankle in one direction, and remember to rest. If you need a rest, stop, and you can always come back and finish. Then we change direction, circling in the opposite direction, and then we bring that leg back to the floor. Then we're going to work in the knee joint. So we're lifting the leg, just straight line, keeping the core muscles engaged, keeping the shoulders soft. And you can do 3, 6 or 8 repetitions. And then when you've completed that, we're going to keep the leg in a right angle shape, and we take it out to the side. So we're working in the core, in the hip joints. And release. Lengthening the spine, pressing into the seat bones. So you're keeping your pelvis in neutral the whole time that you're working. And then from there, we're going to, this time, slightly different. So you keep your toes on the floor and you take your leg out to the side. Left leg, right leg. So it's slightly different. We're getting right into these big groin muscles. And then you can add a bit of coordination by crossing your hands. So you can be rolling onto the outer edges of your feet, or you can be on the balls of your feet. And we can add a wee bit of coordination here by circling the hand in one direction and then with the opposite hand, going to do it in the opposite direction. And then bring the legs back into it again. So we've got all this coordination going on. Then we change direction with the arms and hands. Taking a hand over your head. Changing. So just whatever. Making sure one's going in one direction, one's going the other, hands back onto the thighs. Lovely. And release. And then from there, we're going to still working in the hips, but we're going to do a forward bend. So we're really lifting up from the lower back. So again, you're at the edge of your chair, pressing into the seat bones. Drawing the belly back towards the spine, chin towards the throat, and you're going to fold forward, leading from the crown of the head. So the crown of the head, so you're rolling in the spine. You're rolling down in the spine. It's quite a stretch going on here, so you may not be able to touch the floor. As you come up in an inhalation and you stack the vertebra one at a time, keeping the chin in towards the throat. When the spine is erect, that's when you lift your head. So we breathe in, chin into the throat, and you're leading from the crown of the head. So you're rolling down through the spine from the crown of the head. And you're exhaling as you come down. You breathe in as you come up, stacking the spine, vertebra by vertebra, chin towards the throat until the spine is tall, and then you lift the head. On an inhalation, you're tucking the chin towards the throat. On an exhalation, you're rolling down, leading from the crown of the head. Now, if you only get to as far as here, that's absolutely fine. And you would come up on an inhalation. So this can be a progressive movement. And if your spine is your back muscles are tight and your spine is quite stiff, then you may not get very far. So you only work to where you feel is right for you. You do not work through pain. A wee bit of discomfort may be okay, but you don't exaggerate any pain and release. Lovely. So that's the lower part of the body. We're going to work in the upper part of the body now. So turn the chair towards you. And we'll begin in the fingers. opening and closing, wriggling the fingers, stimulating the fluid in the joints. And you may have stiff arthritic joints. Just take your time, opening and closing. If you need a rest at any time, you place your hands on your thighs and you allow everything to come back to normal, and then you continue. So we're then going to circle in the wrists in one direction and then in the other direction. Again, the seat bones are pressed into the chair. You're lengthening through the, lifting out of the hips, lengthening up through the waist, breastbone lifted, chin to throat, lengthening through the crown of your head. And then from there we're going to extend the arms, palms are facing up, we're going to work in the elbow joints. So here, just want to point out, when you raise your arms here, don't stretch forward, round in between the shoulder blades. You take the shoulders back, so you're plugging the shoulders to the back of the body. And then tap the shoulders with the tips of your fingers. And again, you can do 3, 6, 8 repetitions. Should try for 6. Should try everything for 6 at least. And then place the fingers on the shoulder, taking the elbows wide, and we're just going to roll in the shoulders, stimulating the shoulder joints, and you circle in one direction, circling in the other direction. You can bring the elbows pointing towards each other, taking them away. Maybe just 3 of these. You can bring your arms into a cactus shape, and you can, one hand can come down, and then the other. Maybe 3 on each side, together, and release. So we're going to, from there, come back to the hips, take the feet a bit wider, and we just want to tilt the pelvis forward and back, forward and back, so an anterior tilt, forward, posterior, back. And then we're going to a lateral, so we're going to lift up one hip, the rib and the hip are coming closer together, place that back in the chair, and then to the other side you lift one hip. So you're just working to the side of the body. And then we'll put that all together by circling. So you can make tiny, tiny small circles. And then you can increase the circle. And then change direction. Wide circles. You can bring it in to small. And relax. Take your hands down by the side of the chair. Sit towards the edge of your chair, checking your legs, so you want to make sure that your ankles are beneath your knees. And remember, if you need some height, place your cushions or your blocks beneath your feet. Palms facing out, breathe in and raise the arms up. Back of the hands touching, exhale, taking the arms down. Another twice, breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. We're going to change it. Breathing in, right arm up. Exhale, lengthen over to the left. Breathe in and up. Exhale down. Breathe in, left arm up. Exhaling over to the right. Breathe in and up. exhale, arm down. Continue, twice on each side. As you breathe in and up, you press the right hip down as you lengthen to the left. Breathing in and up, exhale down. Breathing in, left side. Exhale, the left hip is pressed down into your chair as you lengthen to the right. Breathe in and up, exhale down. One more time. Exhaling over. Feeling that length in the side of the body. In and up, exhale down. Breathing in and up, exhaling over. In and up, exhale down. Both arms out in a T shape. Exhale, going to twist to the left. So the right hand comes to the outside of the left leg and you take the left arm somewhere behind you on your chair. Breathing in, extending the arms. Exhaling to the other side. Inhaling, exhaling, twist. Inhaling, exhaling, opposite side. One more time to each side. And back to the centre, hands in prayer position, palms on your thighs. Going to work in the neck, and so shoulders back. Press the head towards the back of the room, to the wall behind you. Take a breath in. As you exhale, look to the right. Inhale to the centre, exhale to the opposite side. Back to the centre. Again, you're pressing your head to the wall behind you and exhaling to the opposite side. Into the centre. Exhale to the opposite side. Breathing into the centre. Last time. Exhaling to the right. Inhaling to the centre. Exhaling to the left. Into the centre. Breathe in, shoulders up. Take the shoulders behind you. Slide the shoulder blades down your back. Breathing in, shoulders up. Shoulders behind you. Slide shoulders down your back. Last time. Breathing in, shoulders up towards the ears. Press the shoulders back. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing in, pressing the back of the head to the wall behind you. And this time as you exhale, you're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder. Breathe into centre, exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Into centre. Exhale to the right. Into centre, press your head back to the wall behind you. Exhale to the left. Into centre, last time, press the head back behind you. Right ear, right shoulder. As you exhale, into the centre. Exhale to the opposite side. Into the centre. And release. Let's take a moment here. And then come into the facial muscles. And you can maybe give the face a wee wash. Stroke it upwards. And then take your jaw to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left. Maybe just pucking your lips out, pressing the lips together. Wriggling the nose. Big sigh. And I'm going to breathe in and out. Through the nose, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. hands in prayer position. We'll take one last breath together as we breathe in and out. Thank you. Namaste. And I hope you enjoy that. So thank you for joining me.